Today we'll be calculating the vertex of a quadratic function's graph by using the axis of symmetry. So here I have the graph of y equals x squared minus 6x plus 4. And I want to determine the vertex. And I can do that by drawing a line of symmetry and finding out what the equation of that line is, and use that information to find my vertex. So we're first going to go ahead and identify, we're going to use this equation for the axis of symmetry to find the x value of the vertex, and then use that to find the y value of the vertex. So as you recall, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c is our standard form. And the equation I'm working with now is x squared plus 6x plus 6. So let's identify a, b, and c, the numbers. So a is the leading coefficient is 1, b is 6, and c is 6. Now I'm going to use that and substitute it into my formula. X is equal to negative 6 over 2 times a, which is 2. X equals negative 3. So my line of symmetry is x, or axis of symmetry is x equals negative 3. So let's go into y equals and graph our equation. X squared plus 6x plus 6. I'm going to hit trace. And I can see here, that looks like my graph. I'm going to type in x equals negative 3. And now I can see that my vertex is at negative 3, negative 3. All right, so my line of symmetry is x equals negative 3, and my vertex is x equals negative 3, negative 3. And if I go look at my graph, I can see that indeed my axis of symmetry is the line x equals negative 3, and my vertex is at negative 3, negative 3. Okay, let's try 34. We're going to identify A is negative 2, B is 16, C is negative 31. And we're going to substitute in our formula. X is equal to negative B, negative 16, over 2 times negative A, 2 times negative 2, which is negative 4. So my line of symmetry is x equals 4. And my vertex is 4 something. So let's go to the graphing calculator. Clear. Negative 2x squared plus 16x minus 31. And I hit trace. And I type in 4 for x. And my y value is 1. So I can verify that on the graph here. 4, 1. 4, 1 is my vertex, and x equals 4 is my line of symmetry. All right, so now we can take that information and use it with our graphing calculator to easily graph a quadratic function. And what we're going to do here is we're going to find the vertex, and then we're going to use the graphing calculator to give us some additional points to graph. So the first thing we need to do is identify A is 2, B is 12, C is 17, and x equals negative B over 2A. So negative 12 over 4, which is negative 3. So go on my calculator and type in 2x squared plus 12x plus 17. And I'm going to hit trace. I'm going to type in negative 3. And negative 3, negative 1 is my vertex. So I'm going to go over to my graph and go to negative 3, negative 1 and plot a point. I'm going to go back to my graphing calculator and look at the table. So I'm going to hit second table. And I'm going to go up a little bit because I want a few points on there that I can get on the graph. Alright, so here's my table. So now I have some points to graph. Negative 5, 7. Negative 4, 1. Negative 2, 1. And negative 1, 7. So there's my wiggly parabola. So all I did was find the vertex, plotted that, and then used the table to find some points. So go ahead and try number 36. Okay, so for 37, I'll show you what you're going to do. We're going to find the vertex, and we're just given the equation. So we're just going to calculate minus b over 2a, which is going to be 12 over 6, which is going to be 2. And then we're going to go into our calculator. Going to hit trace. We're going to hit 2. All right. And then, oops. So our axis of symmetry is x equals 2, and our vertex is 2, negative 2. So go ahead and try number 38. Try 39. And try 40.